So yeah, it's been a day. It's definitely been a day for Doctor Who. Um, just kind of sitting back watching the YouTube reaction videos and stuff. Trying my best to keep out of the gender issues that have been, well, pretty much everywhere. Even though I made a few snidey remarks on my own personal Facebook page about it. But wow. To be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what the fuss is. I've been harping on for a female doctor since Doctor number 5. In fact, as far as I can go back, the Doctor becoming female has always been a discussion point since Peter Davison. I remember when Peter Davison took the role, and I was young at the time. My first regeneration, even though I was with John Pertwee, my first remembered regeneration was Tom Baker to Peter Davison, and the argument was that he was way too young for the role. It's amazing how that resolved itself. It's a lot of people are saying that the show is dead, rest in peace Doctor Who or whatever. I think the ratings will probably prove for themselves how it's going to be. Now, to be honest with you, yes, I'm excited for a female Doctor. I'll be honest with you with that. What's my opinion on the female Doctor, on the new actress? I absolutely have no idea. I don't know. It was exactly the same reaction I had with Matt Smith. I had no idea. I warmed to Peter Capaldi pretty quickly, but everybody has their different doctors who they warm to quickly. Matt Smith kind of took me a little longer. I enjoyed his first outing where he finally became the Doctor, and that really got me, but it really took a few more episodes for me to get used to him. I like 10. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy 10. I don't quite like how the fandom has turned him into the Twilight character of Doctor Who, the Twilight Doctor, but I like him. I don't think he was the best, but I'm an old fan, you know, what can I say? So I'm fine. I'm okay. I really have no opinion on the new Doctor, except I'm excited to see a female Doctor. That doesn't exactly kind of escape the fact that there has been some negativity on the issue. For example, I read a comment from, well, I won't name the person, but his Facebook is pretty, well, let's just say, very UKIP, in which he just made this comment. Honestly, I despise my country more and more day by day. Now, because of the political correctness, my favourite TV show is given into all but the leftist bullshit that everyone else is given into, and cast the female Doctor because it wants to be seen as gender friendly. Honestly, the whole Western world can go royally fuck itself. I'm just expired with a whole way of life. It's just exhausting watching everything die. If you want to live in a world where up is down and down, where up is up and down is down and left is left and right is right, black is black and white is white, come join me in China, because the place where I was brought up in has completely died. The next Doctor Who will be an Islamic, homophonic, leftist pro Jeremy Corbyn cunt. No doubt. Now, I have to kind of wonder exactly how did somebody like that become a Doctor Who fan? I mean, obviously, I think that Peter Capaldi put it best. Anybody who kind of bullies anybody is not a Doctor Who fan because they totally missed the message of the show. How can you be a Doctor Who fan and not appreciate tolerance or independence or equality or anything that which the Doctor throughout his entire life has actually fought for? I really don't get it. And all these people crying about political correctness, exactly where does casting a woman or casting a Muslim or casting a person of colour not become political correctness? Where is the cutoff point here? Because I am in a minority group. I'm in the LGBTQA community, and I'm also polyamorous, which kind of puts me in a very minority niche. in the sexuality gauge. Now, being white, I have certain privileges, and being male, I certainly have certain privileges, which I really do not like. And there are certain institutionalized prejudices I still have to get over. But at the same time, the question is, where does political correctness end for you people? When is the right moment to cast a female doctor? When is the right moment to cast a Muslim replacement for Chekhov in Star Trek? When is the right moment to do any of this? Because there doesn't seem to be one. It's always going to be political correctness as far as you're concerned. You've taken it way too far at this point. There's a hell of a lot on my mind with regards to the reaction. Now, let me make this clear. We have endured 12 regenerations, 13 technically if you count the War Doctor, but we didn't see his regeneration, so we kind of go through, through 12. 12 is the number of the official number of regenerations as far as the Doctor is concerned. Can you imagine what it was like for Patrick Troughton, the second Doctor? The second Doctor, the first regeneration. Of one of the most successful TV shows at the time, he had to replace, the actor that every child and adult related to as the Doctor, and become the same character, but a different character. Can you imagine that pressure? Everybody believed that the show couldn't survive with Patrick Troughton, and in the first episode, he caught them on. He caught them. John Pertwee went through the same thing, especially when the show went into colour. Oh, it can't work in colour. It can't work purely on the planet Earth. John Pertwee stayed around for several seasons. Tom Baker. People were very suspicious about Tom Baker, but he became one of the longest running Doctors in history. I've already told you about the Peter Davison Doctor. Colin Baker sadly went through a process where nobody knew what to do with the Doctor, and the BBC was trying to kill the show anyway because the controller hated science fiction. We can argue whether he was the best Doctor or the worst Doctor. I personally think he was an okay Doctor. And Sylvester McCoy. Wow, a children's show presenter can't become the Doctor, and yet he became one of the most notable Doctors in recent history. The darkest Doctor, the Doctor that kind of encapsulates the Doctor there is today. Paul McGann, he was on an American show. He can't be the Doctor. Well, he played a perfectly good Doctor in a poorly scripted movie, and went on to define his role in the Big Finish productions as the penultimate 8th Doctor. He was the 8th Doctor, and everything he has done has been canonized by Night of the Doctor. The new series comes along, and people are very dubious about how a new series with new special effects could even possibly work. So how were they going to do it? Were they going to bring in Paul McGann? Or were they going to bring in a completely new actor? Christopher Eccleston. He worked. One season. He worked. And he did a fantastic job, no pun intended, for getting us used to the regeneration into 10 that everybody was nervous about, especially the BBC controllers, because nobody actually knew, new fans, nobody knew what regeneration was. And David Tennant stole the hearts of many a fangirl and assured that Doctor Who would survive. Matt Smith, oh my god, poor Matt Smith. He's far too young for the role, yet eventually he went on to become a heartthrob himself. He went on to become one of the best known Doctors. He went on to actually appreciate what it was to be an old man in a young man's body. He encapsulated it well. Oh my god, can you remember the controversy over Peter Capaldi being far too old for the role, even though fans like me had to remind them that the first Doctor was in fact 53 himself. And now everybody's missing him. Nearly everybody is missing him. I'm missing him. He wasn't with me long enough. And I feel like there's going to be a hole in my heart Now we've got Doctor 13. Doctor 13. And she's a woman. And I'm happy. I'm happy for that. I've got no opinion on whether she's going to be good for the role, because I haven't watched Broadchurch myself, but I have faith from what I've read about this woman that she's going to do a fantastic job. Jodie's going to do a fantastic job, I'm pretty sure of it. And those of you saying that that Doctor Who is dead and is going to die and is no more, I've heard that argument so many times. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Your opinions don't count, especially if you're going to make sexist remarks like this. Not everybody who's angry about the new Doctor being a woman is sexist, or in that regard. I don't think that. But there is a minority here that encapsulates this man's commentary. And it's sad. It's sad. All I can really say is if you want to stop watching Doctor Who, then stop watching Doctor Who based on its merits. Stop watching Doctor Who because you didn't like the way the show was going, you didn't like the writing, you weren't a fan of Peter Capaldi, or you really didn't like Stephen Moffat. But to quit the show simply because there is a change that is way too controversial for you, then maybe that kind of reflects issues that you have rather than issues that the show have. Until next time, ciao.